starting with the Syrian refugees profile. Russia's defense ministry confirmed on Saturday that it had proposed cooperating with the United States on Syrian refugees and demining in a letter sent to the top U.S. general in July. The ministry said that the proposals on refugees concerned a refugee camp in Rakban. In the letter, the chief of the Russian military general staff said Moscow was ready to discuss with Damascus safety guarantees for refugees stranded at Rakban, as well as creating conditions for their return home. On to Turkish-American relations, Turkey's president said on Saturday the country will freeze the assets of two United States officials in retaliation for sanctions against Turkey's justice and interior ministers over the detention of an American pastor over alleged links to terror groups. Speaking in Ankara, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said Turkey had been patient since the U.S. Treasury sanctions imposed on Wednesday, but ordered authorities to freeze the assets of America's justice and interior ministers in Turkey, if there are any. Erdogan also called the sanctions a serious disrespect towards Turkey and accused the U.S. of hypocrisy. In relation to the context, despite a sharp deterioration in relations over the detention of an American pastor, the United States and Turkey remain valued partners, according to what U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said on Saturday. Pompeo told reporters on the sidelines of an Asian Security Forum in Singapore that the two countries would continue to work with each other in the framework of the alliance and on other matters. He also said, "I made clear that it is well past time that Pastor Branson be freed and be permitted to return to the United States." On the other side of the world, crews battling deadly Northern California wildfires braced for a weekend of windy, hot weather that could drive the flames into new areas and threaten more homes. The National Weather Service issued red flag warnings of critical fire weather conditions through Saturday night, saying a series of dry low-pressure systems passing through the region could bring wind gusts of up to 35 miles per hour that could turn small fires or even sparks into racing walls of flame. As a precaution, new evacuations were called on Friday for an area of Mendocino and Lake counties. Meanwhile, a Russian helicopter crashed shortly after takeoff in Siberia on Saturday, killing all 18 people aboard. The Interstate Aviation Committee said the Mi-8 helicopter collided with the load being carried by another helicopter that had taken off from the same pad in Vancouver, above the Arctic Circle, about 2,600 kilometers northeast of Moscow. But it said the second helicopter was undamaged and landed safely. Moreover, UT Airlines said there were 15 passengers and 3 crew aboard the crashed helicopter. On another side, Eritrean Airlines has begun regular flights to Ethiopia's capital Addis Ababa, the Eritrean Information Minister said on Saturday, marking another step in improving relations between the two countries. Ethiopia's state media confirmed that a plane carrying Eritrean transport and tourism ministers and other officials had landed at Addis Ababa's Bole International Airport, the first time in 2 decades that such a flight had taken place. Moreover, media reported that upon arrival at Bole, Ethiopia's State Minister for Foreign Affairs and other senior Ethiopian officials welcomed the delegation. And finally, economic news. Saudi Arabia says it will resume oil shipments through the Bab el-Mandab Strait after they were temporarily halted following attacks by Yemen's Shiite rebels. Energy Minister Khalid al-Falih is quoted by the official Saudi press agency as saying, shipments through the narrow strait, which links the Gulf of Aden to the Red Sea, would resume on Saturday. He also said the Saudi-led coalition, which has been at war with the rebels since March 2015, took the necessary measures to ensure the security of the shipments without elaborating.